All these images had left the north of France a great graveyard. It's the greatest graveyard, especially of young men, that we have in any place in the world. And there are some beautiful memorials. Give me 5 minutes. And one of them is at a place called the Somme, where the British and French lost hundreds of thousands of men in a couple of months in 1916, getting nowhere. They're aiming for the high ground. On the high ground, Sir Edwin Lutyens put something that is this. Right, please. It's a landscape portrait, and it's like an American skyscraper setting in. It's a great classical arch with classical wreaths as tondi, but you can see it's a screaming face. Left, please. Lutyens always used one sarcophagus here. It's like a palette in a scream. And it's all war. It's utter power, utter emptiness, utter meaninglessness, but horror, terror, power. And you can't get to it. You have to violate the grass. And if you do, you come up and you see the names. Right, please. Thousands and thousands of names are written on it. And when you climb up there and look beyond it, then for the first time, left, please. You see the men. French on this side. Right, please. English on the other. And some are known, but where they're unknown, the French, who have tough little concrete crosses, with little bronze plaques, just say, inconnu, unknown. The British say, with white limestone slabs, they say, a soldier of the Great War, known to God. By this time, everybody's crying. There's no doubt that motorcyclist there was crying like a baby at the time, because it tells the truth. Left, please. Left, please. There's the horror, and it is horror. Absolute pain, absolute meaninglessness, absolute horror. And then right, please. There are the men, unbroken. And death is their fatherland. Left, please. Left, please. Get over it all. Now, when I first showed these in 1980, there was a young woman in the back of the class, a Chinese extraction, who looked at these slides and began to write. Right, please. Right. Right. Sorry. Not W-R-I-T-E, R-I-T-H. Yeah. And I can't read what she wrote because I haven't got any light. But she began to write the essay that she had to have hand in for the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Washington. She'd already done her design, but she hadn't written the essay. Lutyens somehow unlocked her, so she began to write. And she focused on the idea of the name, as you see here. And then later, when she was down defending her thing after she won, and those idiots like, whatever their names are, called it a black gash of shame, she got these slides duplicated and used them in her argument. I don't know what she said because I wasn't there at that time. She used these in her argument in favor of her thing. Hers, of course, is exactly the opposite. Right, please. Here's the first little beautiful gouache or whatever drawing that she did first, where she said she didn't want any heavy weights on the earth. See, it's just the opposite. But it's like the landscape. She just wanted to slash in the earth, which would be a black reflecting interface between this world and the other. And she wanted the lines of sight, left, please, to go to the Washington Monument, right, please, and the Lincoln Memorial, to show the unity of her country's history. And then she said when she came and visited it later, she cried, right, please. She said she found the name of a friend and she cried. And what's interesting, of course, is that when you touch it, you're reflected. But in all the popular art that's sold there by the ton, they have your reflection be a soldier. It's really very moving. Because what this memorial did was to bring the Vietnam veterans back into the community, into the public life. The public had tried to forget they existed. They were living, most of them, in hell of nervous prostrations of various kinds. This was a really healing thing. And it uses all the things we talk about, the weightlessness of the earth, the view of the sun, and it does it to use the earth with dignity. And thank you very much. Thank you for coming here. Next time we go back to our luxurious home. Thank you very much for coming.